Hello followers and welcome back to MrMFretwell Plays Minecraft, and we're going to kick things off here in the brand new established branch mine, which I have just started work on. Not done too much here yet, got a couple of branches dug, but this is going to be an ongoing project off camera to gather resources. I've got a little potato farm going right here to give me a constant supply of food. I've got dirt, gravel and flint in there, coal in here and mob drops. I've got some furnaces there with nothing in, obviously the crafting table, all of my ores. Pretty exciting to have another 12 diamond ore, and this is all of my stone and my cobblestone. So what we're going to do first is we are going to get this diamond ore and we are going to break it down with my fortune pick. So that's not all I've done. We are going to take a look at some of the other stuff that I've done in a moment, but I just wanted to show you that I had this 12 diamond ore and we have another 24, so we got pretty much 2 out of every one, which is not too bad. So I'm going to relay this stuff up to the surface. One project I definitely want to do soon is actually get either a rail line or at least a staircase up to the surface of the branch mine, because I'm going to be doing a lot of work in here and it makes a lot of sense to have a convenient access route between up there and down here. So we may look into that either this episode or next episode. I do have a project planned for today's episode, but that's going to take a little bit of time. So we're going to have to do a little bit of thinking and see what time we have before we work on this. And it is quite the jump up to the surface, honestly, so I would like to kind of fix that up a little bit if we can. So let's head in here and I'll show you what else that I've done. So as you can see, I broke down all of the quartz and I also broke down all of the coal ore that I had. I have repaired... oh, it's the portal. I have repaired my fortune pick once, but it's almost in need of a repair again. But we can do that later on, no problem. So I'm just going to deposit my ores off here, and we're going to break some down. I filled these up for this purpose, so we can get the iron cooking up in there, and that is not where iron goes. Iron goes in here. 24, that will divide into 8, so we're going to put our diamonds away as well. So let's make a bunch of diamond blocks. That's going to give us another 3 diamond blocks. 30 diamond blocks is pretty good going, I have to say. We've got some lapis here that we need to break down. There we go. And we'll break those down, and I'll combine those a little later. Whoops. We need to break down the emeralds that we found. I don't have too many emeralds, honestly. I would like a couple more. But I've not run into a decent village yet. Certainly not in the new terrain. So we've got over a stack of emeralds now. And got some red stony bits here which I'll chop down because that's quite a lot off camera, and we've got 30 gold ore there. I'm not going to smelt that up just yet as we don't need it. So yeah, I guess what I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about the project that I want to do today, and that is to kind of work on the area around the zombie grinder. So we have the zombie grinder established now and it works and it is pretty efficient, I have to say. But the area around the zombie grinder isn't the best, honestly. It's a pretty bad hovel, actually. If you look around here, there is this thing, which is the killing trap. And it's kind of dug out into a cave. There's cobblestone everywhere. There's this random chest here. The workbench is in an awkward location. We have this random infinite spring right here as I was working on things. And it generally looks a mess in here. So what I would like to do is kind of get a proper maintenance hatch established into here and kind of make a dedicated room for all of this stuff. And kind of clean up the walls, get the roof sorted out, put the crafting table in an area that's kind of out of the way, and get a dedicated storage area going, things like that. So I think the first thing I want to do is kind of sort of even out all of the junk that we've got going on here. It doesn't need to be a huge room, but it does need to, you know, look relatively nice and not as bad as it does now. I don't need that for the time being. I'm going to take this workbench down and we'll get to work on carving this out. And I don't know how tall I want to make the room yet. I think, honestly, 3 blocks is tall enough for what we need. So I'm also going to run down and grab some stone bricks a little later to kind of clean up the room. We'll probably also get funky with clay and make some nice clay walls. Depending on how the room goes, I may just go with clay for floor and ceiling. But that we'll have to see on. But for right now, I'm just going to stick to the plan and start carving out this room. Okay guys, so as you just saw, I have been working on this for a good while now, and we've got the main room kind of set up here. We've got this area all nicely cleaned up, and we do need to add a bit more clay into the ceiling, but I'll do that a little later. And we still kind of need to clean up this area, get a water drop in and so forth. But now what I want to work on is a little bit of redstone. So we're going to put in some sliding doors here, and through one is going to be my enchanter, and I think that that one should be this one right here, and over here will be our storage. So in order to do that, we are going to take a little bit of clay out first, and then we are going to put in pistons, which are going to be extended by default. So I've got a bunch of sticky pistons here, and we're going to put these in, and I'll hook up this redstone. So we are going to need a couple redstone torches. I do have some wood. If you hear any background buzzing, by the way, that is from the boiler. It's on the blink, I think. So I apologize for that, but until it gets fixed, there's not a whole lot I can do about it. But I'll try and make sure that any noise is kept to a minimum. So, let's see here. There we go. Oops, no, we don't want to do that. That causes a redstone clock. So we've got this right here, and now what we need to do with this is actually, I have to knock this out for the time being. We need to hook it up to some pressure plates, and we're going to have some pressure plates which are going to sit by the door. So let's get these down like that. And what we want to do is we want to take the we want to take the no, we want to take the signal from underneath here and run it to underneath here. So we need to well, actually no, we need to get it into the back of the block. So we need to kind of we need to run this down like this past the lamp, and that could be an issue. Why is it? Oh yeah, it's not pointing in because we need to do this. Now it will work. Not quite. Now it will work. Now we're going to have a bit of an issue here with this lever situation. So that is probably going to move to right here to try and get it all in. Yep, and now that is no longer causing trouble. I'm just going to knock this out for right now. I'm going to put it back later. And we will run the redstone from underneath the pressure plates. And it will link up like so. I'm just going to make it all even and clean so that I can get easy access. So now if I stand on this pressure plate, you will see that those 3 pistons actually retract. And that is what will enable us to go through the doors. So now we need to hook up the other side. And then I'm probably going to do the other one off camera. And then I'm going to hook up an enchantment system. And I'll probably bring you guys back in when I've made some progress on the storage room. And we'll take a look at that. So I'm going to do the exact same thing over here again. I'm making this room a mess again after doing all of that work. But sometimes it's what happens. So we put that in. Whoops. Nope, we're not ready for the redstone yet. I'm going to put in the pistons first. So we'll get the 3 pistons. They've got to be facing the right way though. They've got to be facing towards the clay block. So we'll take this out. Ah, good. I think that the boiler noise should have stopped now. So we will do that. So as you can see, we've got that hooked up. And it's very, very simple redstone, honestly, but I like the effect that it gives. So we're going to run around here a little bit. Like so. And we're going to have an issue with the lamp again, but that's fine. And we'll run this. And we're going to move that lever for the time being. I think I'm going to put the lever... If I put it there, yeah, it will work. Okay, good. And we need to put our cobblestone. Oops. That will not work, unfortunately, because we have the lever in the way, so we need to get that out of the way. I think I know how to solve that, though. If I put the lever here, will that work? No. Wait. Right there is what we want. There we go. So, let's break open that. And we've got this situation going on, which I don't want, because it messes up the flow a little bit. So let's take this out, and there we go. So now we should have fully functioning double doors, which we do. So now the next step to this is getting the clay back where it was, like this, and then let's take a look at how it looks once the clay is back and it's all, the redstone is covered up. We can get rid of all that cobblestone mess of junk behind it. So put this back like so. So this is the room, and you open this, and bam, we have that. Now, obviously, there's going to be a little bit of work need to be done, like I'm going to put stone bricks here, and that kind of thing. And we're going to put an enchantment table, I think, through in that room. And I need to finish up the clay walls, well, the clay ceiling, actually. And we're going to do the exact same thing over here, but we are going to do it with... a storage room behind it instead of an enchanter. So I'm going to get on with that, and I will show you guys the progress I've made in a little while. Okay guys, so I've been working on this grinder area here for quite a while now, and we have the enchantment table area all set up with room for an anvil. I haven't brought one down just yet, but I will do very, very soon. We've got our enchantment table there with the bookshelves that we need to get the high level enchantments. And through here we have our storage, crafting, smelting, and eventually I'll probably get a brewing stand in here and an ender chest. And we've got storage over on this wall. And it's not got any item frames yet, but it will have soon. We're going to have 4 double chests for zombie flesh, 1 double chest for each type of armor. And then I'm probably going to put books in here, enchanted books, and then anything else that we happen to find that's useful. Perhaps tools and things like that will also go in there. I've also added a water drop so that we don't have to keep climbing up and down this ladder all the time. So all that's really left to do in here now is put up the item frames and kind of cover this up right here where the wiring is. And that is literally it, honestly. Everything else is kind of done. Oh, I need to add an anvil as well. I mean, this is not perfect, but it will do the job for now. I may tweak this enchantment area a little bit later, but for right now, I'm pretty happy with it, honestly. And I'm happy with out here. It looks nice and clean, and certainly better than what it was. so that I can now grind my levels and get my tools repaired all the time, which is going to be really handy considering some of the projects that I've got in mind are going to require a lot of tool durability, that's for sure. So I think that we're going to call it an episode here, guys. Next episode, I'm going to unveil my plan for what I want to do at this base, and we will probably go exploring next episode, as I do have a checklist of things that I need to get, and we haven't quite got everything yet. We need to visit a couple of the new biomes. I need to get the two new wood types and things like that. So we're probably going to go on an exploration trip, maybe next episode and perhaps even the episode after that. And then after all of that, we'll begin work on our actual base. Now that we have the ender chest, sort of a base set up here, the portal to the nether, and also the grinder. I've got everything that I currently need in order to really get on with my base and my projects. So we'll hopefully look forward to that. So I hope that you've enjoyed today's episode, guys, and I hope to see you in the next episode. So until then, guys, see you later, and have a good day.